I don't know how you guys do it, man. I don't know how my UK folk do it every Monday and Tuesday night. I don't get it. God bless you. Each and every one of you, man. God bless your souls. For every point I'm about to make, and you felt the same way, I want you to hit the thumbs up. Now, realistically, you can only hit the thumbs up once. But if you felt any of these things that I'm about to mention, or you went through the same exact thing that I did this morning, I want you to hit the thumbs up. Did you set your alarm at 5 a.m. in hopes of watching Super Showdown live? Did your alarm go off at 5 a.m.? You looked at your phone, shut the alarm off, and said, fuck it. It ain't worth watching a fucking 5-hour house show. Did you legitimately get up and watch Super Showdown live and then end up falling asleep during the show about 3 or 4 different times? Did you watch Super Showdown and get visibly nauseous over the creative direction of some of these matches? Did you think that Super Showdown was a decent show, but was a complete waste of everybody's time and did not belong as a pay-per-view on the WWE Network? And here's the final one, folks. The one that I'm thinking of the entire time I'm watching this Super House Show Showdown. How many of you feel that with every one of these stadium fucking shows, WrestleMania's prestige is sinking lower and lower every single year? That's the kicker. That's the big one right there. You know, WWE can put on 5 different 80-seat venue stadium shows in a calendar year. I don't understand why they need to hype it like a WrestleMania. There is only one WrestleMania. One. There's only one World Series. There's only one Super Bowl. There's only one NASCAR Indy 500. There's only one PGA Tour. This is what everybody in sports works towards. If you're a baseball player, you want a World Series ring. If you're a football player, you want to play in the Super Bowl. If you're a NASCAR driver, you want to win the Daytona 500. If you are a golfer and you hit the circuit and become a pro golfer, you want to win that green fucking jacket. That doesn't happen 5 times a year, and if it did, the value and the prestige of the green jacket and the Super Bowl ring and the World Series trophy means nothing. Nothing. Every single time WWE goes to Saudi Arabia, every single time WWE has a stadium show of 80,000 fucking people like they did today in Australia, oh, it's got a WrestleMania feel. It feels like WrestleMania here. It's a WrestleMania-like atmosphere. No, no, and no. No. WrestleMania doesn't even feel like WrestleMania anymore. Now you're trying to tell me that Super Showdown is a WrestleMania? Well, maybe if you really look at it. Maybe I'm wasting my breath. Maybe that's how worthless WrestleMania has become. But I'm trying to make a point here. WrestleMania and the prestige of WrestleMania and the attractiveness of WrestleMania is gone. It's gone. Look at Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is happening on November 2nd. And I want you guys to look at the card already for this show. There's only 2 matches announced. One, I'm assuming, is going to happen after the main event of Super Showdown today. Whether you love them or hate them, I hate all of them. Well, 2 of the 3 I hate. I really don't care for 2 of the 3 of them. But the other one, WWE just turned into a heel after a very organic and genuine babyface run. wasting his entire babyface run, wasting everybody that he's been in the ring with for Roman Reigns. Whether you love them or hate them. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship is a WrestleMania main event. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, WWE Championship match. That is a WrestleMania main event on any fucking planet, down to the very last drop of sweat that will jump off those guys' bodies. The Brothers of Destruction versus D-Generation X. It's a WrestleMania match, if you ask me, folks. Why are we getting the prestige of WrestleMania now, in 2018, to sink lower and lower and lower? All because of the almighty dollar. There's only one WrestleMania, and WWE is accepting money from all these international markets. The Saudi government is throwing WWE whatever the fuck that they need to put on a show of this epic proportion, this grand spectacle, and WWE doesn't even care that every dollar that they take from the Saudi government and Australia to put on this Super Showdown, every fucking penny that they make is taking away from the prestige that is WrestleMania. Crown Jewel is going to end up with a better match card than WrestleMania 34. And probably WrestleMania 35. I don't understand how anybody watching me right now can be okay with this. I don't. What are we working towards? For everybody that gets in this industry, your dream, your goal is to be WWE champion and become the champion in the main event of WrestleMania. If that is not your dream as a professional wrestler, maybe you should find a new fucking job. If that is not your goal in this life as a professional wrestler, if that is not what drives you every single time you get into the ring, then what the fuck are you doing here? WWE is single-handedly taking away everybody's dream of being at WrestleMania, and they're taking away single-handedly the importance of WrestleMania. They're making you believe that Crown Jewel, Super Showdown, the Greatest Royal Rumble, and whatever else they got planned for the next fucking 10 years with the Saudi government is going to be more prestigious than WrestleMania. This is what pisses me off, man. You know, I am... The more I think about it, the more old school I am. You know? I don't like to see the prestige of anything and the luster of anything get tarnished. And here we are in 2018, and these stadium shows are now becoming a normal thing in the international markets, and we're getting presented 5 WrestleManias per year. It's only going to enhance in 2019. This was just a taste of it. This was just a taste. Greatest Royal Rumble, Super Showdown, Crown Jewel, that's 3. Plus WrestleMania in one fucking year. Wait till 2019 when WWE has 6 or 7 different fucking stadium shows. How valuable is WrestleMania going to be then? Super Showdown was a complete waste of everybody's fucking time, people. If The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels didn't have their little going on Monday Night Raw, and we didn't get this Triple H versus Undertaker match in the main event of Super Showdown, I would not have even watched this show. At all. This was a waste of everybody's time. Plus, WWE gets us to sit down and watch this show, and the creative stupidity rears its ugly head, as always, with the WWE management. I'm going to rip a few things apart on this show, and I don't really give a shit if you like it or not. I don't. Super Showdown was a complete waste of everybody's time. It was rumored to go 5 hours. Thank God it didn't. Thank God it didn't. We were at 4 hours, which is still too long for a pay-per-view if you ask me. But thank God it wasn't 5 hours. I tried to set my alarm and watch it live. My alarm went off at 5, realistically, and I said, fuck it. I'm going to stay in bed till about 7. I'll catch it on a 2-hour delay. That's exactly what my mindset was. Then I started getting texts from a few different people. Are you awake? Are you going to be live tweeting? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, let me peel myself out of bed. I didn't even bother turning on my fucking Keurig. I took my pillow and my blanket. I laid down on the couch. I turned on WWE Network. I missed the first match, which was the SmackDown Live Tag Team title match with the Bar and the New Day. I caught the second match in. And then I fell asleep on 3 or 4 different occasions throughout the show. Missed most of the Joe AJ Styles match. I missed all of Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. I missed... What else did I miss? I missed all of the Undertaker Triple H match. I missed part of the... What was it? I can't even think right now, man. I'm so fucking exhausted I can't even think right now. I missed part of the tag team match with the Riot Squad and the Botch Twins and Ronda Rousey. I fell asleep on 3 or 4 different occasions during this entire show. So I legitimately had to go back and watch it and watch what I missed all over again. I finally woke up fully at 10:30, and I had to go back and rewatch everything. So, you know, fuck me. I had to watch this garbage twice today. So I had to watch this garbage twice. If that doesn't deserve a thumbs up on this review, I don't know what the fuck does. I'm just throwing that out there for you guys right now. Anyway, man, we're going to hit the review. We're going to go over everything we need to here on this Super Showdown Saturday. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Off the script. There's not going to be any off the script today. I'm getting my sleep before McGregor tonight. I'm getting my sleep. Off the script will be back to its regular time tomorrow. And then on Monday. If you missed Friday's episode, it's in the video in the top right corner in that annotation. Drop it down. It'll take you right to part 1 this weekend of Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for everything. We got some new sponsors coming up. I'll talk about all that stuff on Off the Script. Let's hit the review, man. Let's hit the review. Melbourne Cricket Ground. The entire arena looked okay from what I seen on the WWE Network. I know this show wasn't sold out. WWE went from advertising this as 100,000 to 80,000 down to 70,000. And they even had Charlotte come on TV and say 60,000. But WWE announced the number close to 71,000 people this morning here on the East Coast. Tonight in Australia for Super Showdown. Most of the arena looked completely packed. There were a few photographs that people sent me who were actually there, who sent me photos on Twitter of the very, 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 very upper levels completely just empty. Yet, I don't really see that as an issue. I don't know who the fuck would want to go there and sit that high anyway. Everything you see is going to look like fucking ants. Like, I don't understand why you would want to go to a show like this and sit all the way up there in the fucking mega nosebleed sections. It's not even worth it. Just stay home and watch it on the WWE Network. But for the most part, the arena looked okay, and they set it up quite nicely for what looked to me was nothing more than a fucking house show. They tried to make it a big deal. It was an outdoor venue. It definitely was an outdoor venue. The sound, usually with the outdoor venues, it just goes up. So when you think you're about to hear a loud fucking pop for something and it doesn't come across that way on TV, it's because the sound is going straight up. You know, in a dome or a closed-off roof environment, you know, the sound is going to circulate a little bit more. With these outdoor arena shows, this is why I don't like outdoor arena shows. You know, the sound is not what you expect it to be for an event of 70,000 fucking people. If I'm watching an event with 70,000 people, I want to fucking hear 70,000 people. Sometimes when you watch these shows and you get to see 70,000 people cheering, it sounds like 20, 30. So some of the sound didn't come off across that way on TV, and that's because it was an outdoor arena. I know some people messaged me, you know, the sound was dead, and the crowd looked dead at points, but you seen people cheering and going crazy. It was just at the outdoor arena. That's what happens. So I'm not a big fan of outdoor arenas. In this case, the Melbourne Cricket Grounds was an outdoor arena. The opening match here was The Bar and The New Day for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles, man. You know, I mention all the time how The New Day, every time they are placed in a big match situation, they always come through and deliver a great performance. This was no different. And, you know, The Bar, just like the Usos, are a stand-up team. They're a quality team. They're going to match The New Day pretty well. And it just sucks that a revolving door of tag teams on SmackDown Live only consists of these 3 teams. Meanwhile, you can have more teams to kind of break through. But WWE refuses to push any new teams outside of the comfort zone that they have in the tag team division on SmackDown Live. There is no sanity. There is no R-Truth and Ty Dillinger. I thought that would have been a great fucking tag team. You know, they got the Colognes there, but who the fuck gives a shit about the Colognes? They got no tag teams outside of these 3 teams. That does not qualify for a division at all. And The New Day, like I said, every time they get into a big match situation, more times than not, they will deliver. It's like they take that to the next level. And this was absolutely a great opening match. The New Day retained the tag team titles here. It was a pretty standard match. I don't understand why this wasn't built for SmackDown 1000. This was not really a pay-per-view quality match. It was a quality tag team match. There was nothing here that you would, you know, think to yourself, wow, this is a great pay-per-view match. You know, I'm thinking back to an NXT TakeOver tag team title match with the Undisputed Era, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, or the Undisputed Era with Mustache Mountain. Even at All In, the Briscoes versus SCU. That's a fucking tag team match. That's a pay-per-view quality tag team match. This was not on any of those levels. And WWE has SmackDown 1000 to build towards. I don't understand why you're going to have SmackDown 1000 and you're not going to have all of your SmackDown Live titles defended on the 1000th episode of SmackDown Live. This could have been saved for SmackDown Live 1000. I am just saying. The New Day win here. They beat The Bar clean. And now they have no competition in the tag team division. Who is the biggest question coming out of this was not the quality of the match or how great The Bar and The New Day worked well together. Who's The New Day going to go up against now and defend the tag team titles? They beat The Bar. Sanity is a non-issue. There's no other tag teams on SmackDown Live. The only other teams that you got are the Usos, and they're too busy with the fucking Mixed Match Challenge. The New Day have no competition on SmackDown Live. That's what this match told you today on Super Showdown. The New Day wins here. Cesaro rolls Wood up for a 2. Kofi comes in from the outside, makes the save. Sheamus comes over, but Kofi drops him with a Trouble in Paradise on the outside. Kofi was a fucking machine in this match, man. Kofi is so fucking... Kofi and Woods is probably my favorite pairing of the New Day, man. They are incredibly underrated. Incredibly underrated. Xavier Woods is so underrated. And a lot of people don't really attribute him to being a really good professional wrestler, man. The guy is fucking great at what he does. A lot of people want to see Big E. You know, Big E they want Big E to break out as the New Day. Or from the New Day, as the one guy in the New Day that's going to go on a singles run. Xavier Woods is fucking fantastic at what he does. Kofi Kingston is a Hall of Famer, and he hasn't even won a major world title in this company. What does that tell you about the body of work of Kofi Kingston? Kofi drops Sheamus with a Trouble in Paradise. Kofi tags in. Woods picks him up, hits a backstabber. Kofi jumps off the top rope with a flying top rope. Big stomp. And they pin Cesaro. 1, 2, 3. New Day retain the tag team titles on SmackDown Live. Who is next for the New Day? I hope we get some idea of that on SmackDown Live. Fine opening match for what it was. I would have rather seen this on the 1000th episode of SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin with this, man. You know, WWE, they lucked into Becky Lynch becoming the hottest female talent on the entire roster. Okay? They tried to, and I've talked about this, and I really don't want to explain it again, but WWE, they constantly go back and try and give you something that we don't want. Becky Lynch, they tried to turn into a heel. They tried to turn Becky into a heel. It didn't work. For some reason, WWE thought that we needed to boo Becky Lynch. Why should we boo Becky Lynch? When she's been held down for 2 fucking years, when Charlotte has been literally given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity everywhere she's been with little to no work. She is only where she is because she is looked at as the golden fucking nugget in the women's division by WWE management because she's the daughter of Ric Flair. That is the God's honest truth. Someone like Becky Lynch doesn't stand a chance to try and take Charlotte's spot at the top. Becky Lynch was held down for 2 years. This summer was the first time in 2 years Becky Lynch was given an opportunity. And WWE gave Becky Lynch an opportunity. They gave her an unbeaten streak the entire summer that led to a title match that should have been Becky and Carmella. But they wanted to include Charlotte in there because it's Charlotte Flair. Now, it did make the triple threat match at SummerSlam better. I'm not going to say that it didn't. But to give Charlotte the spotlight again and then try and weasel the storyline to a point where you want us to boo Becky Lynch is inexcusable. It is inexcusable. This is WWE trying to take their fans for granted. Trying to push something upon the fans, thinking that they're stupid enough to take it and accept it. And we have not. WWE tried to get us to boo Becky Lynch. They tried to make a heel out of Becky. She shit on the fans the next Tuesday night after SummerSlam. The fans were never behind me, blah, 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 blah. Really now? Really now? Oh, Becky's a heel. I didn't hear any heel reaction at SummerSlam. All I heard was fans wanting Becky to get what she deserved, and the fact that she didn't get it snapped. The fans embraced Becky finally becoming frustrated and shedding that goody two-shoes persona that she had. And every time since then, WWE tried to push the narrative of you need to boo Becky Lynch. You can't boo our golden nugget in Charlotte. WWE finally looked to be embracing this entire Becky Lynch, Stone Cold Becky Lynch attitude, this nonchalant, I don't give a fuck attitude by Becky Lynch. And the fans continue to side with Becky Lynch because they love to see Becky doing what she needs to do, getting what she deserves. If Becky wants to put herself on a fucking poster, the fans are going to eat it up because they know Becky Lynch deserves to be on a fucking poster. If Becky Lynch wants to be called the Queen because she's the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, then the fans are going to call her the Queen and cheer her for it. But WWE tried to web this as Charlotte now is the one on the receiving end and Becky's being the heinous one. I don't see how this is going to work, ever. WWE lucked into a situation where they tried to give you a narrative that you didn't want, you didn't accept it, and they're fighting the fans every step of the way. You don't want to do what we want to do? Then we're going to continue doing it until you accept it. And that continued tonight with Super Showdown. It continued tonight. The ending of this match, first of all, the match at Hell in a Cell was much better than what we've seen here at Super Showdown. That's number one. The match at Hell in a Cell blew this one out of the water. The only thing I liked about this match was the fact that it maintained a physical level between Charlotte and Becky Lynch, which a lot of people don't really, especially the women. There's not a lot of intensity and physicality with the women. It's always, You know, they're afraid to take a bump. They're afraid to get physical and really embrace what it means to be in a fucking wrestling ring. Seems like every woman I watch, no matter where I go, they're afraid to break a fingernail, or they're afraid to get their hair pulled, or they're afraid to take a bump. Wrestle! Wrestle. That's what you're here to do. Wrestle. So the only aspect of this match that I liked is that both women went in there with a level of intensity that was matched. Equal. That was it. The ending of this match was absolutely fucking god-awful. And another reason why WWE is so out of touch with their fan base. WWE did what I thought they were going to do at Hell in a Cell. And they did it here at Super Showdown. They gave Becky Lynch a victory, and a cheap victory at that. They made Becky act like a heel. They made Becky do a heel-like tactic to retain the title, and that is not what Becky Lynch is about. They completely went away from the entire narrative of Becky Lynch knowing, confident in her ability that she could beat Charlotte Flair. And they gave you the narrative of, oh, Becky Lynch tonight is not better than Charlotte. She can't beat Charlotte. She has to cheat to beat Charlotte because she will never be better than Charlotte. Do you know how fucking completely opposite of what everything they did with Becky this is? I was half asleep during this, and I'm like, fuck this show. Right out of the gate, match number 2. Fuck this show. Becky Lynch wins this match. Or actually, no. I'm sorry. Charlotte wins by DQ, but Becky retains the title. You get my fucking point. Okay? So, Flair had a figure 8. Or figure 4. She tried to bridge it into the figure 8. Okay? But before this, Becky goes for the belt. Becky goes to take the belt like a heel from the timekeeper's area and walks away with the fucking belt. That's what a heel does. Becky's not a heel. Becky's a babyface. Becky has been cheered everywhere she's gone. Charlotte is the one who's being booed. Charlotte, as far as the narrative goes, is the one who fucked up. Becky didn't fuck up. Now WWE today wanted to push the narrative that Becky is not as good as Charlotte, so we'll have her act like a heel and walk away with the championship. She starts walking away with the fucking championship. Charlotte brings Becky right back into the ring. Becky with a kick, but Flair comes right back with a spear. Flair applies the figure 4, tries to bridge into the figure 8. Becky resists, and Flair bridges into the figure 8, but Becky, when she was in the figure 8 with the title, remember the title. She went to go grab the title. The title was laying in the ring. She grabbed the title, she grabbed the strap, and she flung it and hit Charlotte in the face with it, causing a disqualification while she was in the figure 8. This ending was fucking god-awful. This is nothing more than WWE trying to spin the narrative the way they want so that you buy into it, hook, line, and sinker. Don't! Becky is not a heel. This is not the way Becky needs to be portrayed. WWE completely went against everything. I don't understand. The fans gave them the fucking way. The fans guided them to the proper storyline. And here they are, WWE, resisting what the fans want to push Charlotte as the babyface. This match fucking sucked. Completely disgusting. I don't understand why WWE is so out of touch with their fucking audience that they went ahead and did this. Charlotte wins by DQ. They booked the match again for Tuesday. How many more times do we need to see this narrative spun in WWE's favor? What happens on Tuesday? What happens at SmackDown Live 1000? What are both women going to do at Evolution? This was a complete disaster. Absolutely fucking ridiculous that WWE is continuing to push Becky as a fucking heel. She is not a heel. Listen to the reaction. Same thing with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gets heel reactions. Roman is a heel, but they're portraying him as a babyface. And they're trying to mask that by putting him behind Rollins and Ambrose. Whatever they're doing in both situations is not working. Listen to your fucking fans. They are the light. Enough of this fucking bullshit. Yeah, but WWE listens to the fans, right? Yes, Stephanie. Let me see you say they listen. WWE, they, we, you listen to the fans. This completely went against everything that woman stated in that conference a couple of weeks ago. Garbage. Charlotte Flair wins by DQ. We're getting a match on SmackDown Live. A rematch for the women's title on SmackDown Live. You want more waste of time? Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. WWE, you want to know how worthless this Super Showdown was? WWE put Elias in the ring and Kevin Owens in the ring together. Now, Elias had his guitar. He strummed some new fucking notes. He sounded good. Looks like he actually put some thought into some new notes on the guitar. Some nice fretwork there by Elias. But they got Kevin Owens sitting right next to him, just like he was on Monday Night Raw in Seattle, where they made fun of the Seattle Supersonics not being a basketball team in that market anymore. And the 8 minute of boos that rained down upon them was genuinely a special moment that you don't see at all on Monday Night Raw. So what does WWE do here tonight? They take that and they try their best to recreate that here in Australia with the same verbiage, with the same type of attitude, and it fell flat on its face. Absolutely fell flat on its face. Elias gets a pop for playing a quick tune. Like I said, he had some nice fretwork tonight. Elias talks about how he's loved all over the world, but not like he is here in Australia. Typical Elias. And then he shits on the market. Elias gets another pop and introduces Kevin Owens. Owens says usually nothing cheers him up like the music of Elias, but tonight, even that might not be good enough because they are sitting in a cesspool of a city. And they just tried to recreate. I think they mentioned something about a rugby team or a soccer team or some sporting, event down there or sporting team out there that they tried to recreate the whole moment from Monday Night Raw here on Super Showdown, and it didn't go over like it did on Monday night. WWE needs to learn to leave well enough alone. When you have a genuine moment like that, embrace it and try to leave it where it was. When you take that genuine moment and you try to recreate that again and again and again, it makes the original moment fucking meaningless. It takes away from that night on Monday in Seattle because WWE is desperate to try and pop a reaction. This match was a complete waste of fucking time. John Cena, been living in China, been learning Mandarin, right? If this is what he comes back for, you might as well just fucking stay in China. He didn't take one fucking bump in this match. I want you guys to understand that. Not one bump. Not one bump. Bobby Lashley worked this entire match. Cena came in, and he used his 5 moves of doom, now with an added 6th move of doom. The lightning punch. I can't even put into words how god-awful. If John Cena is going to come back to the WWE eventually, and this is what he's giving us, him and his fucking ridiculous-looking haircut, and his lightning punch, you might as well just stay fucking retired. I have absolutely zero interest in you throwing lightning punches around at a bigger event other than Super Showdown. This was absolutely fucking pathetic. And the fact that Elias is coming off Monday Night Raw, and one of the biggest heel pops that he's ever gotten his entire life, and Elias being positioned as a quality act on Monday Night Raw with Kevin Owens. Elias is in the ring with John Cena and loses to a fucking lightning punch, pinned 1, 2, 3. WWE tries to recreate the moment on Monday night, and they kill Elias' momentum and make him look like a fucking idiot. All in one shot. A lightning punch on this day took out Elias, and that was it. If you talk about, and people laugh, Super House Show Showdown. This was the personification of a goddamn fucking house show match. Why is this on TV? It meant nothing. It went nowhere. And you embarrassed one of your top acts on Monday Night Raw. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope you're proud of yourself. I wouldn't pay a single fucking penny to sit in an arena to watch John Cena throw a goddamn fucking lightning punch. You want lightning punches? Go play Super Smash Brothers. I don't want to watch my fucking professional wrestling to see John Cena throw a goddamn fucking lightning punch. Fuck out of here. Is he a wrestler or is he Blanca from Street Fighter? Absolutely fucking god-awful, man. We go from a ridiculous ending in the women's match with Becky and Charlotte to a fucking irrelevant match that went nowhere, that meant nothing for all four men involved, to another useless tag team match. Asuka and Naomi versus the Iconics. What would you like me to say here? Do you know the one thing that stood out in this match was how gone Asuka is? She's at a point where she's at a point of no return. Completely buried. Buried. The Undertaker wouldn't even want to bury Asuka anymore. She's so far under in WWE. Gone. I don't believe this woman had what Michael Cole stated, the NXT title, women's title, for 910 days. And I have to watch Asuka on the main roster lose to Charlotte, lose her undefeated streak, which should have never happened. Still to this day. Oh, everybody's crying, right? Oh, JD's a smart mark. He don't know anything, man. Where are you now? Where is everybody now that made fun of me then? Nowhere. What did it lead to? Asuka lost her streak and then was fed to Carmella. Is that how you would have booked it? Are you okay with the circumstances that followed? I don't hear you now! Asuka should have never lost her undefeated streak. I don't give a fuck who said so. That's why you're on the creative team. Oh. WWE having Asuka undefeated handcuffed them creatively. The fuck are you a creative writer for? Book yourself out of the fucking corner. No, but feeding her to Carmella and then having Charlotte lose to Carmella, right? Having Charlotte beat Asuka's undefeated streak and then go away for 2 months to go get her fucking breasts fixed. Yeah, that's worth it though, right? That's what you gave Asuka's undefeated streak to. Leaky breasts. Here we have Asuka. You thought that was bad. She can't go any lower than what we've seen tonight. This woman is an absolute fucking joke. A joke. If you are a fan of Asuka, I feel sorry for you. I'm at a point right now where I give 0 fucks about Asuka. And that is a goddamn fucking shame. And for every NXT talent that I put my fucking heart into, and I invest my time into watching grow, mature, and rise through the ranks, this is their fucking future. This is their future. Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, and everybody from the fucking Mae Young Classic, Toni Storm, Io Shirai, done. If you are excited about an Io fucking Shirai in WWE, I want you to look at Asuka. That is her future. This woman came out and acted like a fucking clown. She was Bozo the Clown tonight. I couldn't cringe anymore. I could not cringe any more than I did tonight watching Asuka dance side by side with Naomi. This was a talent that Triple H purposely kept in NXT to mature, to build in his own image. And as soon as WWE main roster took her away from Triple H, this is the end result. Sick to my stomach. Yet this is a revolution and an evolution that you're proud to be a part of. This was god fucking awful. I'm glad that they didn't pin Asuka, but at this point, it wouldn't have even mattered anyway. Asuka dancing next to Naomi was one of the most pathetic, cringeworthy moments of the entire fucking year, and is a clear indication of where this woman stands on WWE main roster. Do not get excited about an Io Shirai or a Toni Storm or anybody else coming out of the Mae Young Classic. At all. Their futures are doomed. Doomed. I am telling you right now, unless you are blonde, have big tits, and a fat ass, you will go nowhere in WWE if you are a female. Do you need any references? Look at who's being pushed on TV, and look at who's not. You want the fucking truth? Or do you want me to bullshit you? And the only reason why Peyton Royce is on fucking TV is because Dave Meltzer made some stupid fucking comment. Half of Peyton Royce's paycheck should go to Dave Meltzer for the shit that got blown out of proportion. Now, what do you think was going to happen here? The Iconics win in Australia. Big fucking deal. They acted as if they won the tag team titles. Complete waste of time. A complete waste of time. So after an hour and 15 minutes, we finally get something outside of the tag. The tag team match was okay. Outside of an hour and 15 minutes, we finally get something that I didn't move away from my television. I didn't move away from my television. No DQ, no count out. There must be a winner. WWE, they wanna go real in depth. No DQ, no count out. There must be a winner. No holds barred. It's a no holds barred match. Anything goes. No holds barred. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe for the WWE title. Listen, I am not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Okay, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't right anyway. I was wrong, yet I should have been right. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe on Super Showdown. One of the best matches of the year. I loved this match. It was a fucking great match. This match blew everything on the show out of the fucking water. Everything out of the water. This was easily the best match on the show. This was easily the best match in their series of matches so far. And it did something that I really didn't want it to, and it really mirrored everything that Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles did. Everything that AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura did went from bad to great. They went from having the worst match at WrestleMania to their best match at Money in the Bank. That's the way the cookie crumbled there. Nakamura didn't do anything. He didn't win the title. 6 opportunities. He didn't win the WWE title. That does not make a fucking viable contender. Or that does not build a superstar, the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura. That's going to put a negative connotation in the eyes of the audience. Can't get the job done. Shinsuke Nakamura is the Atlanta Braves of SmackDown Live. Great year. Swept in the playoffs. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are doing the same thing. Not to say that their SummerSlam match was bad. It was good. Much better than what we got with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. Their match at SummerSlam was good. Their match at Hell in a Cell was better. This was a great match. But the one thing I don't understand is how you build Samoa Joe up as a fucking monster. And you paint the picture of him getting into the mind of AJ Styles for so many weeks to a point where it's downright inevitable that the guy needs to win the WWE Championship. And then you have him say all this shit to AJ Styles, and when the time comes, he doesn't live up to his words. He did the same thing with Roman Reigns. I'm going to fucking embarrass you. You're a complete waste of time. You're pathetic. You're not the right Samoan for the job. Blah, 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 blah. And what happens when he fights Samoa Joe at Backlash? What happened? Samoa Joe and everything that he said fell on deaf ears. He wasted his fucking breath. And Roman Reigns beat him. Did the same thing here with AJ Styles. Everything that Samoa Joe has done, said, and painted, as far as AJ Styles and his family. Mind-fucking AJ Styles. A complete waste of time. There is no reason why Samoa Joe, at this hour, should not be the WWE champion. Where does Joe go from here? He lost. A tap out. A tap out, nonetheless. Where does Joe go from here? If I'm handling Samoa Joe, I am not putting him on TV at all. At all. I'm not putting him on SmackDown Live Tuesday. I'm not putting him at the SmackDown Live 1000 show. I am not putting him anywhere near TV until November 2nd. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to have Joe dwell. I'm going to have Joe's mind fester over this loss. I'm going to have him come back, and I'm going to have him destroy both Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles at Crown Jewel, because I don't think Daniel Bryan's winning the title, and I don't want to see AJ Styles beat Daniel Bryan. I want to see someone come in there and wreak fucking havoc. That's what I want to do. And I want to see that guy be a Samoa Joe. Even though this match was great in every sense of the word, the outcome was wrong. If the outcome went to Samoa Joe, it would give AJ Styles a reason to chase, and it would fill TV up for the next month. If this is the caliber of match that they're putting on, why wouldn't you give Joe a run with the title, whether it's a month, 2 months, and continue what these guys are doing? With AJ winning here, it's all over. Joe's not getting a rematch. Joe doesn't deserve a rematch. Where does Joe go from here? The only logical direction for Joe is to come back as a monster and destroy everything in his sight. I don't understand how this guy's body of work has not garnered him a WWE title. Why? This was a bad booking decision. And for what? A fucking video game? A fucking video game. Because the video game is coming out worldwide on Tuesday. You want Styles to be the WWE champion? Or what is it? Better yet, you want AJ Styles as the WWE champion. The legit champion, not Brock Lesnar. You only use that because you wanted to fucking poke fun at him and throw a few daggers his way. Why? Is it because you want AJ Styles to surpass CM Punk as WWE champion? How petty can you be if that is the mindset currently with WWE? If that is a reason to sabotage creative booking going forward, WWE is downright fucking sad. Now, I don't have any fact on that. I don't have any truth on that. That's just speculation. But would you put it past WWE? Could you not see WWE doing that? This match really, Joe got the coquina clutch on 3 different fucking occasions. 3. It should have ended with a tap out by Joe on Styles with the 3rd coquina clutch. That's the way it should have ended. If you're going to try and get the coquina clutch on him 3 times, and you successfully do it 3 times, you need to win the match via submission. There was an instance in this match where Samoa Joe gave AJ Styles a lariat that completely destroyed him. Busted him open. I don't know if he had a tooth issue, but he was bleeding from the lip. Corey Graves made a nice call on commentary saying, we don't know if that happened from the clothesline, or if he bit his lip, or he's got a lip issue there, or if he may have internal bleeding. Because Joe was, this was a physical fucking match. I got to give it to both Joe and Styles. These guys tore the fucking house down. And they let it all hang out in Australia, man. That clothesline was devastating. Devastating. So, Joe goes for a superplex. There's a table lined up. Joe goes for a superplex through the table. And being that it's no DQ, everything's legal. So, Joe goes for a superplex. AJ Styles slides through Joe's legs. AJ slams Joe through the table. Now, I don't know the way that they landed, if that was the way that they were supposed to land. I don't know if Joe was supposed to land back first, but he landed side first, and as the table exploded, he was holding his knee, clutching his knee. Now, I don't know if Joe was legitimately hurt, but he was visibly heard saying, it popped, to the referee. Or if Joe was just a damn good fucking actor. Because if he was legitimately hurt, the match wouldn't have really continued as far as it did after that. Because these guys brutalized each other more so after the fact. Joe was standing on two legs after the fact, so it may have either been Joe playing possum or Joe just being a really good actor and selling the injury so that it's a focal point of the match. I really couldn't tell. Either way, it was the beginning of the end. As soon as the knee became an issue, it was the beginning of the end for Samoa Joe here. So, AJ and Joe both went through the table. Joe holding his knee. AJ gets up. Joe is screaming that the knee popped. Joe says, he says to the referee, the knee popped, and then he says to the referee, in almost the same breath, I'm fine. Joe focuses on the bad, or AJ rather, focuses on Joe's bad knee. AJ continues to beat down on the knee, and AJ starts getting in Joe's face and starts talking trash, saying that there will be consequences for messing with my family. So AJ ends up going for the calf crusher. Joe turns it into the coquina clutch. Beautiful fucking spot. That would have been a brilliant ending right there. For Joe to have the knee injury, the knee issue, get the calf crusher applied, and reverse that into the coquina clutch. That would have been a perfect ending to give Joe a submission victory. WWE didn't do it. AJ gets out of the clutch, kicks Joe in the head. AJ goes to the floor to kind of get a breather. And AJ springboards back in with a shot to Joe's injured knee. Does a 450 on Joe's injured knee. They end up on the floor again, and Joe hits a big, AJ hits a big phenomenal forearm using the barrier. Referee checks on Joe. AJ brings Joe back into the ring. He goes for another phenomenal forearm. AJ leaps in the air, and Joe catches him and applies the coquina clutch again. So you're going to have AJ jump off the rope with a springboard phenomenal forearm, one of his finishing moves, and Joe is going to catch him in his finishing move, and you're not going to end the match? Come on, man. That should have been it. You thought the first one, reversing the calf crusher, was good. This one was even better. AJ struggles to break the hold. Joe launches him to the mat for a 2 count. Joe goes for a muscle buster. Tease the muscle buster again. We have not seen Joe hit the muscle buster on the main roster yet. AJ rolls through with the 2 count. Joe turns that into a coquina clutch. The third coquina clutch. AJ turns that into a roll-up. AJ tries for the calf crusher again. Finally gets it locked in. He could not get the calf crusher locked in. He was pulling at Joe's wrestling boots to finally get it applied. He did get it. Joe reaching for the ropes, but in a no-holds-barred match, reaching for the rope is not going to break the hold, which the commentary team made mention of several times here, and Joe tapped out. I can't sit here and tell you that this was the right ending. This was not the right ending. And I feel sorry for Samoa Joe, man. You know, I made mention on Twitter, just send Joe back down to NXT, give him his termination papers. People are telling me, commenting on my tweet, he'd look good in the fucking firing squad. I think that may be the best bet for Samoa Joe right now, because right now, either WWE just doesn't give a fuck, or they don't believe in Samoa Joe, and I don't know why they wouldn't believe in Samoa Joe. I'm not saying give this guy a 400-day title reign, but the body of work as a fucking heel that this guy is doing, that doesn't deserve at least a month, 2, 3 as world champion? No, but we get fucking Jinder Mahal for 7 months as world champion, though, right? No, but we won't give Samoa Joe the world title. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. AJ Styles retains the WWE Championship. The Riot Squad versus the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey. Everybody's nightmare going into this was, what's going to happen with the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey? Are they going to plant the seeds for a Nikki Bella Ronda Rousey match at Evolution for the Raw Women's Championship? Thank God we didn't see it. I'm hoping WWE is coming to their senses. I really do. This match, if you've been watching Monday Night Raw, and this is all I will say on this because this is a complete waste of my breath. If you've been watching Monday Night Raw, okay, you've seen literally everything about this feud. Everything. Nothing different. There's nothing different here because it's a Super Showdown pay-per-view. Brie botched again, but it wasn't, a move or harming herself or harming another. Brie botched a spot where she legitimately tried to grab the tongue of Liv Morgan because it's blue. She tried to grab Liv Morgan's tongue, and I know you guys seen it, and she missed completely. So I guess her coordination is off now too, right? If she can't grab a fucking tongue in a simple spot like that, something is clearly messed up with her. People poking fun at that on social media as well. It's not a fact that she, did a move and harmed herself or harmed another. But she fucked that up and it was quite laughable. I enjoyed that. That was actually the best part of the match for me. Liv Morgan got in the match on Brie Bella. I noticed this as well. It may be nothing, but you've seen Liv Morgan get a little physical with Brie Bella. She delivered a quick enziguri to Brie Bella. Looked like it had a little bit of extra mustard on it. So, Liv Morgan, I wouldn't say she's out for revenge or looking to legitimately injure Brie Bella, but she pretty much wanted to make a statement like, bitch, I know what you did wasn't intentional, but you still fucked up. And I'm gonna put a little mustard, extra mustard on this hot dog. That's all that was. Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins win here. I couldn't give a shit. I really couldn't care any less. So, at the end of this thing, Liv and Logan prepare a double team on Ronda Rousey. She stops them. She slams them both to the mat at the same time with a fucking double arm bar, and they tap out instantly. So, Liv Morgan who is now taking Viking classes, or whatever the fuck not Liv Morgan, or Renee Young, or Michael Cole mentioned. There's no mention of her being Farmer Red's daughter, when she debuted on the main roster. Now, all of a sudden, she's a Viking. She's transformed from a farmer to a fucking Viking. She went from milking cows to fucking drinking mead. And there's no explanation in between. Right? I don't understand. I'd love to know what fucking Viking classes are. How do I sign up? Ridiculous. Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins win in a completely worthless match. Just because it's Ronda Rousey. Gotta get her name on the marquee. Complete waste of everybody's time. The second best match on the entire show. The Cruiserweight Championship match. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Listen. For everybody that's told me in the past, the Cruiserweights mean nothing and are garbage to the WWE. Worthless. Nobody gives a fuck about the Cruiserweights. Really now. Really now. If this isn't the start of a new trend, then WWE will have fucked up. I don't give a fuck if Buddy Murphy is the hometown kid. I don't care. I don't care. When you have talent like Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander in it, by the way, before I even talk about the match, how fucked up is it that the Cruiserweight title is on after the WWE Championship match? Did anybody notice that? There's no Universal Championship match on this show. And the WWE title can't even get a billing above the Cruiserweight Championship. I just find that to be completely weird. And the WWE Championship, I swear to God, man, AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers on the face of the earth. But the title that he's holding, it's a title that the WWE does not really give a shit about anymore. The value of the WWE title has diminished every single year. Every year. And I don't understand why. So the Cruiserweight title was on after the WWE Championship match. This was the second best match, in my opinion, on the show. Buddy Murphy is fucking amazing. Cedric Alexander is fucking amazing, man. If this is not the start of a trend to get the Cruiserweight title on the main card of every fucking pay-per-view moving forward, you will have fucked up. I don't ever want to see the Cruiserweight title on a pre-show during a WrestleMania pay-per-view ever again. Ever again. I have been claiming that 205 Live is in front of the wrong audience. They're in front of a dead fucking SmackDown Live crowd that doesn't give a fuck that they're on TV at all. They don't know, they don't care, they have no interest. Get these guys away from SmackDown Live, film them at Full Sail, and get them in front of an audience that actually fucking cares. That is what's going to make the overall presentation of the show better. If I'm Vince McMahon, if I'm anybody in management on Raw and SmackDown, and I'm looking at these guys, I'm thinking a few things. Number one, Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander, where the fuck have these guys been, and why are they so good? Number two, these guys could easily compete on a Raw and SmackDown level. Easily. Number three, the Cruiserweight Championship isn't that worthless title that you had on Enzo Amore's waist. This is a new Cruiserweight direction, a new Cruiserweight vision. This is the future. If Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander are blowing everybody else on the main roster out of the water, there's no reason why they should not be given an opportunity on the main card of a WrestleMania, on the main card of a SummerSlam, on a Monday Night Raw. You want to make Monday Night Raw better? Then start featuring the fucking Cruiserweights, because that explanation was just completely swept under the rug. Cruiserweights were a part of the Monday Night Raw roster with the draft, and then all of a sudden, they got rid of them. No reason was given. There was no explanation. There was no storyline reason. This is a new Cruiserweight division. You put Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander in the match that we seen tonight on a Monday Night Raw. I said the same thing every single fucking time I talk about the Cruiserweight Classic, towards the end of that Cruiserweight Classic, the matches that we seen. No way you're going to put those types of matches on Monday Night Raw and they're not going to get over. You put these guys in front of an audience like this moving forward, they will get over. And it's not because Buddy Murphy was the hometown guy. They bought into Cedric as well. They were oohing and eyeing for Cedric Alexander as well. Cedric is a monster. He is a great fucking talent. A little scary with the bumps that he fucking takes. That top rope Michinoku driver, man. I swear to God. They showed the slow motion replay of that. The ring fucking, you just seen the whole ring just move with him coming down. And him coming down in a seated position like that with that top rope Michinoku driver. That cannot be good for his spine. That cannot be good for his fucking, his back, his neck. You know, the more you do that, the more abuse you do every single time you do that, that's pretty fucking dangerous. Spanish flies in one fluid motion. Buddy Murphy, very fucking physical. Buddy Murphy looks great. Could do without the fucking name. The name is a little cringy, but Buddy Murphy is an absolute stellar talent, and there's no reason why these guys should not be given more of an opportunity to advance in WWE. And the funny thing about Buddy Murphy is, Buddy Murphy requested to be on 205 Live. He took his own career and presented it the way he wanted himself to be presented in WWE. Shot this to Triple H, and Triple H gave him the opportunity. And look at him now. He went from a tag team that was completely irrelevant in NXT to one of the best talents in this entire company. Congratulations to Buddy Murphy winning the Cruiserweight Championship, and this was the absolute right. Probably the only decision here that I agree with as far as booking wise for this entire show. Buddy Murphy is the new Cruiserweight champion. He did I don't know the name of his finishing move, but the ending sequence in this match was fantastic, man. Murphy was planted with a Spanish fly. Cedric comes right back with a lumbar check. Murphy kicked out. Cedric can't believe it. He thought he had it won. Murphy gets up. Murphy counters and says Cedric into the apron. Cedric springboards in, but Murphy catches him midair with a knee and then goes for that pump handle slam that he does. I know he's got a specific name for it. I forgot the name of it. But he won with his finishing move, and Cedric Alexander is no longer the Cruiserweight champion. Buddy Murphy is your new Cruiserweight champion, and they really let... You know, it's nice to see WWE give him the spotlight for a little bit. He relished it. They kept the camera on him. He embraced the fans. They walked him up the aisle, and he was just clutching the title as if it was the best moment of his fucking life. Very nice to see, man. Very proud of Buddy Murphy, and I wish him nothing but continued success on 205 Live. And like I said, both Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander, even Mustafa Ali, I can see these guys competing at a higher level on Monday Night Raw, man. Absolutely no question. The Shield versus Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. I don't want to waste too much more time here. You know, it's the same thing with some of the things that we've seen with the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey and the Riot Squad. You know, we've seen this every single week leading up to this. We've seen this every week. There's nothing different here. Nothing. Why am I to get excited about this and care now because it's Super Showdown when in the past I didn't care? We're just seeing rinse and repeat moving forward with these 6 guys. Now, the big story here is Dean Ambrose. And the whole big story is, for the last 2 weeks, is that the Pack, or the Dogs of War, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they're trying to get under Dean Ambrose's skin. They're trying to convince Dean Ambrose that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins don't care. Look, they have championships, you don't. Rollins didn't call you while you were rehabilitating for 9 months. You almost died from a staph infection. They actually brought real-life situations into the storyline. Did Rollins call you? No, he didn't call you. He just went out and replaced you with Jason Jordan, and he won the tag team titles with Jason Jordan. Well, he said pretty much fuck you. So, they're building Dean Ambrose's loyalty here per storyline. Is Dean Ambrose going to remain loyal to Reigns and Rollins? Even after all the convincing that Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are trying to do to Dean Ambrose, after all the truth, and it is truth, that Dolph Ziggler was talking about, you know, how loyal is Dean Ambrose going to be? So the big thing going into this was not even the match. The big thing going into this thing was Dean Ambrose's loyalty. Was there going to be a situation where Dean Ambrose and Reigns Rollins come to a little stalemate and it's going to test Dean Ambrose's loyalty? Now, there was one instance, for one very interesting situation that occurred on commentary. I believe it was Corey Graves who mentioned, well, Renee, you know Dean, or Michael Cole, rather. Michael Cole said, Renee, you know Dean Ambrose better than anybody. Is he going to remain loyal to both Reigns and Rollins? And Renee Young said, listen, Dean Ambrose is the most loyal guy that I've ever met in my entire life. He is 100% with the Shield, no matter what you see from Ziggler, Strowman, and McIntyre. So they're even getting Renee Young, who is Ambrose's wife, involved on commentary. I thought that was very interesting. But there was one instance in this match where things broke down. Now, it was Reigns in the ring, and I think it was Strowman. It was either Strowman or Drew McIntyre. I don't remember. I didn't put it in my notes. But Reigns is bouncing off the rope for a Superman punch. So whoever he's aiming the Superman punch to, Ambrose is on the apron, and Ambrose gets hit with the Superman punch. So Ambrose is knocked to the ground, and Roman Reigns is like, oh my God. Oh my God. So we get Ambrose on the outside after the Superman punch, and it was a whole situation where Ambrose was like, oh my God, what happened? Is Ambrose now going to side with the Pack? So Ambrose is still down on the outside after the Superman punch. Braun, Ziggler, and McIntyre have Reigns and Rollins surrounded. Now it's a 3-on-2. Ambrose comes to the other side and stands on the apron after the Superman punch. So at this point, WWE's trying to portray, is he going to join the Pack? Or is he going to remain loyal to Reigns and Rollins? So it looked like Ambrose might be siding with the Pack. But Reigns and Rollins turn to Ambrose. Ambrose runs in and drop kicks Braun Strowman to the outside. Then he dives on top of Strowman with a suicide dive onto the outside, while Rollins and Reigns fight both Ziggler and McIntyre off. Now, Rollins and Reigns beat down on Drew in the middle of the ring. Ambrose is the legal man at this point. The Shield lift Drew up for a triple powerbomb, and Braun runs in and tackles all four guys. They got Drew up in the powerbomb, and Strowman, like a fucking bowling ball, runs through all of them. So, Braun tosses Reigns to the floor, and then Rollins. Ambrose runs around to the ring, or runs around the ring, rather, and knocks Reigns into the apron. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Braun Strowman runs pretty much through Roman Reigns. He does that little, that running thing he does and shoulder tackles them. So he shoulder tackles Reigns into the apron. Braun runs again and turns Rollins inside out with the same thing on the floor. Ziggler comes in from behind on Ambrose with a zigzag in the middle of the ring. Ambrose kicks out at 2. So Ziggler was trying to be the sneaky one to try and get a victory here while chaos was breaking down. Braun yells at Ziggler to toss Ambrose out so he can do the same thing to what he did to Reigns and Rollins. Braun charges to send Ambrose into the barrier, but Reigns comes flying in, intercepting Strowman, putting him through the barrier with a spear. So they're taken out. Ziggler super kicks Reigns. Ziggler and Drew bring Ambrose back into the ring for the Claymore zigzag combo. Rollins makes the save. Ambrose blocks a super kick and drops Ziggler with the dirty deeds. And Ambrose pins Ziggler for the win. The Shield win this 6-man tag. It wasn't a bad match. But to wait through an entire match that we've seen countless times already, just to get that cliffhanger with the Ambrose heel turn, quote unquote, was not worth our time. It was not. And WWE is going to continue playing this fact up. The Shield got the victory here, which I don't think was the right booking decision at all. With Braun Strowman losing momentum week by week by week by week. How you didn't have this guy win and pin Roman going into Crown Jewel is just ridiculous. Now, that could still happen on Monday Night Raw, but this being a major pay-per-view and in front of 70,000 people, that would have been a nice feather in the cap for Braun Strowman to power slam Roman Reigns, pin the Universal Champion, and at least give some people the thought of, well, maybe he could do the same thing at Crown Jewel. Now that the Shield win this match, there's no reason why anybody's going to go into that pay-per-view, Crown Jewel, and believe Roman's going to lose the Universal title. It was ass backwards. What the fuck are they fighting for? How many more times do we have to see this until the pack either breaks up or says enough is enough already? We're done. We can't beat them. This match was not worth the entire 20-plus minutes just for the cliffhanger of a Dean Ambrose possible heel turn and an accidental Superman punch. It wasn't. Shield win. Wrong decision. Strowman should have got the victory over Roman Reigns heading into Crown Jewel. Number 1 contenders match. The Miz versus Daniel Bryan, man. This is the biggest fucking, I don't know, all night. I don't know what to tell you here. This was actually one of the matches I was looking forward to. And it ended just as quick as I blinked. I don't know if it was a botch. I don't know if this was planned this way. But Daniel Bryan beat The Miz. He's the number 1 contender. And I'm assuming this match was planned the way it was, and Bryan was supposed to be the winner, because within seconds, they announced it being official from Paige that Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles would be challenging, or fighting rather, for the WWE title at Crown Jewel. But the way that this happened, I don't know if this is going to play into a bigger story here, if this was planned, or if this was a botch, because it literally, no one in the arena knew. No one in the arena knew. The referee counted 1, 2, 3, Bryan's music hit, and people did not know what the fuck was going on. It literally came out of left field. So The Miz ducks the final yes kick. Bryan was delivering the yes kicks. And Bryan missed the final yes kick because The Miz ducked. Bryan goes for a running knee, but Miz floors Bryan with a running knee of his own. Miz argues with the referee. Miz looks to go for a skull-crushing finale, but Bryan rolls Miz up out of nowhere, and a pin. He got a victory. This match lasted 3 minutes. And again, I don't know why, how, or what they got planned, but Bryan is the number 1 contender. I don't know. I am assuming This is just me speculating. This is all storyline, and that this is going to result in something happening at Crown Jewel. Something. I don't know what it is, but we could be headed towards that fatal four-way that I mentioned at TLC. TLC is the final pay-per-view of the year in December. We could get a triple threat match with Styles, Bryan, and Miz for the WWE title in a ladder match. Add Joe in there, make it a fatal four-way. And that's where Miz can win the title and just take the title out from everybody and not pin everybody. And not pin anybody, rather. Because the Miz would have won it in an unpredictable fashion. And he still keep momentum on Bryan and Styles and maybe Joe. Depending on what WWE does with Joe, which right now is up in the air. But Daniel Bryan beats The Miz in a very, very surprising quick match here at Super Showdown and becomes the number one contender. Oh, man. The final match here of the night. We had literally, by the time this match went on the air, or was about to begin, it was like 3 hours and 7 minutes, 3 hours and 8 minutes into this thing. This match took up the majority of the final hour of this show. That's including the entrances of all four guys and just the announcements of both Triple H and The Undertaker. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I don't. I'm not saying it was a bad match. I'm not saying The Undertaker versus Triple H was a bad match. A few positives I take away from the match. The Undertaker looked better than I could probably ever remember him in a ring. Now, I know I recently watched an interview with him online where he was talking about, how he was injured and he got somewhat of a double hip surgery to kind of extend his career to a point where he could legitimately still go. I don't think it was a full hip replacement, but it was a minor or a halfway hip procedure to, I guess, fix both hips. The Undertaker looked great for what we see of him now. Yes, he's slow. Yes, he's old. But the fact that he lasted in this match, and yes, it was methodical, and it worked at a slower pace than we're usually, watching The Undertaker wrestle. It's not going to be The Undertaker of 10 years ago. The Undertaker really wrestled, he still wrestled the same way at WrestleMania 25. I really don't notice any difference. He was a little bit quicker then, but, he's not much more slower than he was then. He's a little bit more older, and he's a little bit more overweight, and he's showing his age, but I don't necessarily think The Undertaker is moving any different than he did then. So the fact that The Undertaker lasted over 30 minutes with Triple H here and told a great story that continues to Crown Jewel, or will continue to Crown Jewel, I don't really have an issue with that. I was focused on the match. They sold me on everything. It was a great story. It's a story that has been brewing for the last 10 years. So I have no issue with what was told in the ring, in the main event. What I can do without is the overabundance of just overbooking. And the same shit that we usually see with The Undertaker. Every big match The Undertaker has, tombstone, kick out, and then they got that cheesy camera angle that we first seen in WrestleMania 25, where Jim Ross famously said, "I just had an outer-body experience." The Undertaker's facial expressions tell a story that I could never. Word for word. WWE has done that every single WrestleMania match with The Undertaker since then. Every big match that The Undertaker's wrestled, they did that same fucking look. Where he delivers the tombstone, his opponent kicks out, they zoom in on his face. Every match The Undertaker has, someone's kicking out of the tombstone. It's like the fucking sun rises and sets every fucking day. It's nothing special anymore. The Undertaker delivering a tombstone is not special anymore. So cut the fucking cringe-worthy camera angles when we see that type of shit. Seriously. The overabundance of just the overbooking in this match with the theatrics and the outside interference. This match was billed as a last time ever. We didn't get any idea of a no DQ. This match was made into a no DQ match then and there as the announcements were being made for both Triple H and The Undertaker. Why? All they said was, well, Triple H is the COO. We can do whatever he wants. That was it. And I'm assuming that was made because you knew Shawn Michaels and Kane were going to have a big part in the story here of this match. And they certainly did. Every waking moment that they found an opportunity, Shawn Michaels and Kane got involved in this match. There was tables, there was steel chairs, there were sledgehammers, there were super kicks, there were choke slams, there was brawling into the audience. This match went all over the place. This match tried to fit everything that they did in their previous matches into this match with all four guys involved. With the introduction of Kane in this match. So whatever you've seen from Shawn and The Undertaker, whatever you've seen from The Undertaker and Triple H, and all their previous matches, take the bits and pieces that you've seen from those matches, put them into this match, and that's exactly what we got. Exactly what we got. So, we see Triple H put Kane through a table. Shawn Michaels is setting the table up on the outside. Undertaker, I don't know what the fuck the Undertaker was looking. Maybe he was going for an elbow drop. The Undertaker's really fucking balls to the wall at 51 years old, 52 years old. I don't know what he was trying to do. Table was set up. Looked like he was going maybe for his flying elbow drop off the top rope through the table on the outside. Triple H stops that from happening. Shawn Michaels super kicks Kane. Kane lays out on the table. Triple H says, I'm taking this fucking big red asshole out. Drops an elbow drop from the apron through Kane and through the table. Kane is out of the match, okay? So Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and The Undertaker are left. Shawn Michaels and Triple H are left to pretty much take care of The Undertaker and probably solidify a victory here for Triple H. Taker grabs Triple H for a chokeslam. Triple H kicks him. Triple H with a pedigree, which the pedigrees on The Undertaker in this match were god-awful. And that's more on The Undertaker than anybody else. You know, it's all on the receiver of the pedigree to make it look good. The Undertaker's old. Undertaker's not going to take a good pedigree. So Undertaker was in a pedigree. Referee got knocked out. First of all, let me backtrack here. I'm jumping ahead. So after the elbow drop to Kane, Undertaker did a tombstone to Triple H. Like I mentioned, that cheesy camera shot. Undertaker was upset that the referee didn't do a 3. He thought it was a 3. Mike Chioda didn't do the 3 count. He punched Mike Chioda, did the Undertaker in the face. So Mike Chioda was gone. So, like I said, Undertaker grabs Triple H to chokeslam. Triple H kicks him. Triple H with a pedigree. New referee comes in. And Taker kicks out at 2. Triple H can't believe it. So, Undertaker delivered the tombstone. Triple H delivered the pedigree. Both guys kick out of each other's finishing moves. Steel chairs. Steel chairs were a big part of this match. Undertaker was nailing Triple H with chair shots that literally bent the steel chair in half. Triple H places a chair around the Undertaker's neck and delivers a big knee from the second turnbuckle to the Undertaker with the chair just wrapped around his face. So that was pretty brutal. Triple H covers for a 2 count. Kane pulled the referee out. So the second referee, is knocked out of the match. He was dragged out to the floor. Shawn brings Triple H's sledgehammer into the ring now. The Equalizer shows up. The sledgehammer from underneath the ring, slides it into the ring for Triple H. Kane slides a chair into the ring for The Undertaker. So we got Undertaker on one side with a steel chair, Triple H with a sledgehammer on the other side. It's like two gunslingers in the Wild Wild West about to fucking have a showdown. So Undertaker goes to hit Triple H with the chair. Triple H takes the sledgehammer and right into the face with the sledgehammer. As Undertaker lifts the steel chair, he hits the steel chair with the sledgehammer, and the steel chair and the sledgehammer right into the Undertaker's face. So, Triple H covers for the pin. Referees are both knocked out. Triple H tries to pick up the Taker, and Taker pulls him into a submission hold, applies Hell's Gate. So Triple H still had possession of the sledgehammer. So while he was in Hell's Gate, Triple H took the barrel of the sledgehammer and started to choke out the Undertaker with it, so Undertaker released the Hell's Gate. They both collapse. They're both fucking absolutely gassed at this point. Fans are going crazy. Fans are appreciating what they're watching. It's literally the last time you'll see this match one-on-one ever. Taker then goes for the sledgehammer, but Shawn runs in, grabs the sledgehammer. Kane stops him, but Shawn goes low and delivers a low blow on Kane. Kane and Shawn Michaels are both now on the outside. Taker gets up to his feet. Triple H is up as well. Taker grabs the sledgehammer, but Triple H blocks it. Taker blocks a pedigree and back body drops Triple H. Taker then chokeslams Triple H. Taker then goes for another tombstone, but Shawn Michaels comes in, hits sweet chin music. Taker is still up and blocks a second chin music. Scoops Shawn up for the tombstone. Triple H drops Taker with a sledgehammer shot right to the face. This leads to Shawn connecting with a sweet chin music, and Taker falls into a pedigree, and Triple H covers for the win. Very reminiscent of their Hell in a Cell match. Almost very identical to the ending there, that near fall that almost beat the streak in that Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. Very similar there, but it ended up being that Triple H beat The Undertaker, exacts some revenge here on Taker for everything. After the match, Triple H goes over to shake The Undertaker's hand. He lifts The Undertaker up, pulls him up. They're all in the center of the ring. Kane, Michaels, Triple H, and The Undertaker all side by side in the middle of the ring. Fireworks going off. And then all of a sudden, Taker looks over at Kane, gives him a nod. Taker tombstones Triple H, and Kane fucking uppercuts Shawn Michaels. Undertaker then grabs Shawn Michaels, throws him out of the ring, and then delivers a choke slam on Shawn Michaels through the announce table, and they walk off. The Brothers of Destruction close the show by appreciating the effort of everybody here. It's all over. We're going to show you a sign of respect. The era is over. And then Undertaker said, fuck it. I'm not going out that way. Tombstones Triple H, chokeslams Shawn Michaels through the table. This will eventually lead to Kane and The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia versus the team of DX, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And that's the way we go off the air. Was it worth 4 hours? No. Was there some good to the show? Barely. Was there bad? Mostly. I stand by what I said. These super showdowns, these big arena shows outside of WrestleMania are taking a little bit more and more away from WrestleMania. And if this is the best that WWE is going to do for these big super arena shows that are network exclusives in international markets, you're better off without them. And it just shows that WWE only cares about one thing. The quality of the programming, the quality of the show is not there. Creative indifference and creative stupidity still is just wrecking havoc. And all WWE cares about is money, 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 money. And these shows are not special whatsoever, yet they're taking away all the special feel and the prestige that is WrestleMania. How many WrestleManias do we really need a year? When WrestleMania isn't even WrestleMania anymore. The more you do these shows, the more it's going to take away from an already unexciting WrestleMania in April. And I stand by that. I'm JD. Thank you guys so very much. If you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Off the Script. I don't know how I got through this fucking review, man, but I'm glad that I did. I am relaxing for the rest of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Off the Script, part number 2 for this weekend's 242. I'll talk to you later.